So it is the middle of March and it's time for another update. As you can see, I've been busy sorting this area out. I just need to get down there and tidy that up. There's a lot of plants in there with a lot of weeds growing between them. This area is going to be barked this weekend, hopefully. Beds are empty. I don't like to plant out too early, simply because frosts. The onions are starting to put a bit of growth on. Looks like a few have rotted away. Rhubarb is doing very well since I moved them from where the trees were. In fact, I think the trees were there on the last video update. They're gone. They're putting on loads of growth. They're doing really well. Absolute mud pit in there with the chickens. Lost a few due to their age. They are old chickens. I think the youngest is 3 years old in there. So we've got things bursting into life. That one's taking its time. I think that's I can't remember if that's red currant or a black currant. I know one of them is a black currant. There'll be loads and loads of blossom on this pear tree this year. First year I was actually on this plot, there was loads and loads of pears on that tree. Last year there weren't a lot. And then there's an apple tree, that one there, that's a very early apple tree. When I say early, they're normally ready to harvest around about June, July time. If you leave them any later, they'll fall off and they just rot. I was hoping to get these trees out of the ground. There's some buds on there. They're not doing too well here, and to be fair, I've had them for a long time. They've been moved about over the years. This one looks like it's doing alright this year. Keep an eye on that one. But yeah, that one there has never done too well. It's the apples are really small on it. Got some tulips in there as well coming up. Some alliums as well. Greenhouse. So, I broad beans, and I use my own homemade compost. As you can see, there's loads of weeds in there, but I'll wait until the plants are a little bit bigger and I'll pick the weeds out. The spring onions started to come up. We've got sunflowers along there. We've got some very fast growing lettuce. Grow them in there for a bit. Actually, I say grow them in there for a bit. When they get to a decent size, I'll harvest those. Leeks are finally coming up. And we've got some artichokes in there. You can just see there's one or two coming up. And then, so I found a random potato in here in the greenhouse. I thought, you know what, let's just chuck it in some soil and see what happens. I'll use homemade compost again. And if you look just there, it's just poking through the soil. yeah, I'll pick all the weed seedlings out of there, and the same for the broad beans. Currently, you can see it's just below 20 degrees. So keep the door shut, keep the heat in. I've turned the compost pile, so I had emptied that side, put them on, all the compost from there on my beds, and this side I've basically turned it over, so I chucked everything into there, and I'll start filling this one back up. Oh, forget-me-nots, self-seeded forget-me-nots. Some of them, there's just a flower just popping up there. Overall, you can tell spring is on the way, but I'm avoiding sowing too much too early, because I've been caught out in the past. So next weekend is where most of my sowings will take place. Still need to order some strawberries for that bed there. This is all going to be rebarked as well the weekend. I believe this is a willow tree. It's been in that pot for a couple of years. Some daffs as well. I've had these daffs for years and years. Always grown in the same pot. They probably, if you look, actually there's only a few that are flowering. There's no flowers on some of them, so what I might do this year is once they've died back, I'll put the pot up somewhere, and then autumn I'll plant them out in this bit. There's a few daffs as well on there. There is actually a hedgehog hibernating in there. Full view. So if you like what you see, give it a thumbs up and subscribe.